Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about my personal Lord and Savior, Witbier. Okay, I love the stuff. I make it maybe not every summer, but I try to make it about every other summer. And I'm just going to talk for a minute about Witbier in general, and then I am going to taste the one that I have, and then I also have a couple of kind of quirky commercial examples. Quirky in the sense of they're not very easy to get. I was traveling two different times on some camping trips, and I picked them up. Witbier means white beer. It's predominantly from Belgium and the Netherlands. And I'm going to kind of pour and talk if that's okay with everybody. I guess I'll say first is the Voyager Brewing Company from Grand Marais, Minnesota. Trailbreaker, Belgian style wit. It's going to have some wheat. It might have raw wheat. The one that I made has some flaked wheat. I'll go over that in a second. I just kind of was swirling a little bit. I saw this one had some sediment. I don't know how much I'll be able to rouse up in there. It often will have a cloudy or a hazy appearance, which can be from the yeast and also might be from the wheat, I suppose. Another feature of these beers is they often have bitter orange peel and coriander. That's kind of a hallmark of the style. This one is Door County Brewing Company, Little Sister Wit. This is from, what was it, Bailey's Harbor, Wisconsin. Go Pack Go. What do I like about it? You know, it's kind of like, it'll have like a saison-y, spicy character. From not only the coriander, some people put other spices, like you might see, I don't know, like hibiscus or something like that sometime. Another key component, and I can chime in with personal experience, is the yeast. For years, I made them with the liquid yeast, and then at some point I heard about a dry strain of yeast that was Belgian in nature that could kind of give it a wit beer like Belgian-y flavor, and I used that a couple of times and I was not as happy with it. Then I went back to my Y-yeast wit beer yeast strain, and it was just a world of difference. It was much more like what I want in a wit beer. So let's see how these look initially. You know, they're in a similar spectrum of color. I don't know how much condensation we have going on here, but you know, generally none of these are clear. Boy, the Door County and mine are. Well, it's funny, it doesn't look that way on the camera, but kind of as I'm looking at them outside the camera, they're looking somewhat similar. But yeah, so there they go. That's what they look like in general. I'm gonna do a quick little tasting of some of these and give a couple of initial notes, see if they're, I haven't done this with these to see how they compare and contrast. Chip is in Denver, and I don't know, I didn't try too hard to round anybody else up today, so you're stuck with me for a sec here. I'm getting some of the wit beer aroma on this. Can be spiciness from the coriander, also maybe the yeast. This is the Voyager one. I mean, it's not too shabby. I think I would peg it as a wit beer if I didn't know what it was. It's kind of refreshing. It kind of makes me think of summertime and warm weather and things like that. In fact, I'd be outside today, but it's raining. Okay, that's interesting to drink these side by side, because I thought that this one from Door County Brewing Company was spicier than I am used to in a wit beer, and it definitely is much spicier than the first one I just had. Malt beverage brewed with natural flavors, Belgian style wit beer with spices and orange peel. In fact, they might have other spices in here. Let's see if they mention coriander and orange peel. They don't, but I would not be surprised if they have another spice, or if they have a particular unique yeast strain. But anyway, if I don't make a wheat beer, I'll make a Hefeweizen. I love a wheat beer in the summer. It's warm, it's sunny. It might have a little tartness too. That's another component that can be in there. I don't think you do anything special to get that. It can have a little lactic component. I don't know if that's from sort of historic yeast strains that maybe would have developed some lactobacillus. If anyone knows, chime in. So mine this year is similar to one I've made several times. 5.75 pounds of pale, quarter pound aromatic, 3 pounds of floor malted wheat, 1.5 pounds of flaked wheat. So almost 50% wheat. You can go up to 50. That's not uncommon. I don't think people also, like I said, use raw wheat. Something I don't know if I'm too familiar with using. I use some rice hulls for my system. If I get close to 50% wheat, I might get into trouble. Check my Brew Log. I'll put a link under this video. Excuse me. Takes 3 sips and I get some carbonation built up. Mine is definitely not as spicy as the second one, which is by far going to be the spiciest. But let me try this Voyager one from Graham Ray again. That's pretty good. You know, I've kind of settled into an amount of spices that I use, but I think both of these have a little more spice than mine. I know my father, when he tries my wheat beer, it's one of the only styles that I make that he really does not care for. He doesn't also like hoppy beers, but the wheat beer is, he does not like it. He does not like the spices. But compared to these other ones, this one drinks like a real clean, lighter ale. So if you look at my log and you see whatever spices I want, you're definitely going to get some of that out of there if you use that amount. I think it's ½ ounce of bitter orange peel, 15, ½ ounce at flame out, and I forget it's like a tablespoon of coriander, I'm not sure. But I am happy with mine. I'm happy with how it drinks. At the moment it's not super clear, which is good, but as time goes on and it's in the keg, it will get a little bit clearer. Anyway, let me know if you guys like wheat beer as a style. If you have never made one, I would say try a commercial example if you can and see what you think. If it's something you're just not familiar with, it is one of my kind of favorite summery ones to make, and I wanted to throw out this little video. And you know, I should have done this on a warm day so I can enjoy all these in the warm weather, but that's the work that I do for you guys. I drink these beers on a rainy day. You know, it's a rough life. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you later. Let's talk about wheat beer. Blah, 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 blah.